first.
Sweet. Welcome back, everyone. Jeez. Main announcement for next week is elections. I strongly encourage everyone to show up. It's very important for the club, and anyone can run. Just the only real requirement is you just have to have above a 2.0 GPA, be good in standing, have a good standing with the university. You have to at least be a part-time student, which is I think 6 credits for undergrad and 4 credits for graduate students. So that's the only real requirement. Anyone can run or try to be a member of the exec team. We have both Ethan and Kay graduating, so we'll be looking to fill some positions potentially. So so hope to see you guys there. But yeah, that's the main thing. So get started on the workshop. So Adam,
That's me. I'm Adam. Hello, nice to meet y'all. Thank you for coming out here today. So what we're gonna be doing is a very, very exciting workshop. So don't make that face. Don't make that face. You're making a face. So every video game ever has one thing in common. It has a title screen. And this sample project that I've provided to you guys, might be lacking in something. It is lacking in a title screen. In fact, it's also lacking in settings. You cannot change the resolution or this very unnecessarily loud audio. So today we will be fixing that problem. So just let me know whenever you guys are at a point where I can start instructing and stuff. Okay, let me pull up my notes. Okay, so to make a title screen, let's just assume this Peter Griffin and the audio object here is just a game that you just finished. So we're just going to be tacking a main menu screen on top of what already exists here. So to make the main menu, all you have to do is right-click on Scenes, and then Create, and then Scene, and then just regular old scene. And then you can name it whatever you want. I'll call it title. Press enter, and then you double click on that scene, and then bada bing, bada boom, empty scene. So now that we have this empty scene, you gotta put something in there. You gotta make something look cool. So I'm gonna go get a neat background image. So Minecraft screensaver. I'm gonna download this off of Google. And then that will be our temporary main menu screen background that we will use.
That pick goes R,
It does. Okay, JPEG, good. So you can put this file wherever you want. Unity allows you to import photos from just anywhere on your hard drive, but I don't actually know where that is saved. So I'm going to put this on my desktop. Boom. And then we'll go back to Unity. And then we'll go to assets, and then I'll just import an asset, import new asset, desktop, and this stuff. Bam. Okay. Background image acquired. And then, so this is just an image, and you could place it just kind of on your empty scene there, but that could cause a few issues, namely, if you have a custom screen size, it might not scale right. So what we need to do is that we need to create a proper UI object in Unity. So what you do is that in the object hierarchy, you just right click, and then you do UI, and then you do image. And that creates this ginormous UI object that is right here. The main camera cannot see this. This is rendered over everything else. So it's really its own object. It has its own parameters. But to set the image for this, all you have to do is drag and drop your Steve dude here, and then scale it to the aspect ratio. And then bam, you got this cool Steve. I'll even press play, and it'll show the Steve. Whoa. Okay, cool Steve. So then, another thing that's good to do is that whenever you change resolutions, the UI will try to scale with it, but you have to tell Unity exactly how it's going to scale. So there's this neat little tool here. It's this little crosshair. If you have the image selected under your canvas, just click it, and you have all these anchor options. So like, let's say you have like some random UI elements that need to stay in the top left corner. You would press the top left corner, and it would stay the same size and relative position to the top left corner of your screen. But since this is going to cover the whole screen at all times, we want the bottom right option with this little kind of four-way arrow. And essentially what that does is that it will stretch this image in both the X and the Y axis as your resolution scales. So now that we have that, I really need to... Okay, so we got that. And yeah, that's good. And then, okay, so now that we have the background image, we need to make some buttons. So all you have to do is right click on your canvas. By the way, all of your UI objects will be under canvas. That's how Unity handles it. You'll do UI and then button, Text Mesh Pro. Text Mesh Pro is oh, I need to do that. I thought I had that on here already. So if it asks you to import TMP Essentials, do that. That's essentially like a text library that allows your text to like scale in resolution with your screen. It's pretty nice. Okay, so now we have this nice, cool button. So we're gonna make 3 of these bad boys, and then I'm gonna rename them to play, settings, and quit. So let's do, oh yeah, you can just rename it here. So let's do play, settings, and quit. Beautiful. So each of these button objects has a text object associated with. That is how you actually adjust what it says. So I'm going to name this play. I'm going to move it. Oh, wait. Okay. Something to note. If you want to move your button, make sure that the parent button object is selected so that both the text and the button sprite move with it. I've missed that a couple times. Hello.
Hey guys. Did I miss anything?
Just some basic stuff with the main menu.
Oh, but nothing too important?
No, I have a Google Doc on the Discord where you can follow along if you get lost. So.
Might just watch if that's alright.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay. And then I will change this to settings. I will change this to quit. Okay. Are we all caught up? Cool. Okay, so now we, if you go into the button objects, we have all of these white bars, and these denote what the button will look like depending on its normal state, if you're hovering over it or if you're pressing it. So you know how buttons will sometimes like change color slightly or darken, you can set those, whenever you click it to make it feel a little bit more interactive. A cool trick you can do is that you can just mess with the opacity. So if it's not being messed with at all, you can set that to like 70. And then if it's being selected, you can have it be, I don't know, fully opaque. And if it's being pressed, you can have it be like halfway kind of. So I'm going to do that with all my buttons. I have a feeling I'm going to miss some of these. Get them slightly different. Pressed, selected. Okay, so now we can test that out. If we just press play. Boom. We got two buttons. Very cool. Friggin' sweet, I know, right? Okay. So yeah, and you can also use, yeah, you can make this look however you want. I can provide time for that if needed. So, now that we have our buttons, we need to create the functionality for these buttons and also the settings menu. So, what we'll do is that under Canvas, we will do create empty. And this is just an empty object, it doesn't have anything. And we will call this main menu. And then we will just drag these buttons into that. So now main menu is the parent for all these buttons. I do this just for organization, and it will make scripting a decent bit easier because you can assign all of the scripts that are related to these three buttons to just the main menu objects, and you don't have to go hunting around for where your scripts are at. It's very nice. Okay, so now that we have the main menu, we will make a main menu script, which we will do by clicking on main menu, and then in the inspector, all you have to do is just type in whatever you want to name your script. Main menu, new script, create and add. Beautiful. So now this main menu script will be associated with this object, and then you just double click on the file here, and then bada bing bada boom, we got a template script. So in this script, we're just going to add the functionality for play and quit. So what play will do is that it will just change the scene from 0 to 1, and then quit completely closes the application. So if you need to, if you would rather copy and paste this script, it's in the Google Doc, but I'm just going to type it out in case people just want to type it themselves. So we need a few imports to start. So we need using engine dot scene management.
Do you want to zoom in like a little?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then on a behavior, so let's do public void play game. That will just do scene dot load scene 1. Then we need public void quit game. And then you save that, and then if you just tab back into Unity, it'll, oh no, I missed a semicolon.
You want to talk a little bit like what each kind of like line does?
Of course. So play game function scene manager.load scene. We created a new scene. So Unity sees that as scene 0, your starting scene, and scene 1, the scene that this will change to. We will manually assign scenes later just to make sure that everything is in the correct order. But if you open a Unity project, scene 0 will always be the one that loads first unless you have a script that says otherwise. So that's why your main menu should always be scene 0. And then quit game, it discloses the application. Yeah, I know, crazy, right?
No way.
Yeah, it's pretty freaky deaky if you ask me. Deaky. Okay, and now that we have a script that takes us to Peter Griffin's scene, we should probably have a script that takes us back to the main menu just so we can test a little bit easier. So we're going to go back into scenes, and then sample scene is the one that this project was created with. You're not going to see Peter Boy because you're all zoomed out, but he's down here. Never went anywhere. It's okay. And then just in the PETA script, or in the just PETA 0 image, we're going to make a new script called scene changer. I'm just putting it in this image object just so it has a place to live. Scripts have to be associated with some kind of active object in order to run in Unity. So we're going to just click on PETA 0, add component. And then we are gonna type out our new script, and I'm gonna call it scene changer. And then that's gonna show up in our assets. Okay, here we go. And then we're gonna just write a simple script that for every frame it's gonna check if the user presses escape, and then it will change the scene ID to our main menu. So we are gonna make sure we have all the imports, Unity engine. Okay, yeah, we need the scene manager import again using tissues. I don't have any on my person though. Okay. Oh, scene management. I don't know why I said manager. Actually, that's correct. Yeah, that's good. Semicolon. Don't forget the semicolon. Okay, and then in the update function, this updates every frame. Type in if statement. So if input dot get key down key code dot escape. Got a problem?
I didn't say anything.
You snickered something.
I would never.
And then you just do scene manager dot load scene 0. Okay, I think that's right. I hope it is. That'd be embarrassing if it wasn't. Okay. So yeah, this just changes to scene 0, which would be whatever scene is at the top of your hierarchy. Oh no. Scene manager does not exist in the current context. Uh-oh. I probably just misspelled it. I did not misspell it. I did? What? Oh. I can spell things. Very cool. Thank you. Okay. So now that we have this script set up, whenever we are on PETA scene, it will always switch to scene 0 whenever we press escape, which is very good. But now we actually need to set the main menu to scene 0, because right now we created the main menu scene 2nd, so it's scene 1. So to do that, you gotta to set up the scene order, you gotta do File, and then Build Profiles, and then Open Scene List, and then Add Open Scenes. Okay, I forgot you have to switch to the title scene before you can run that command. That is my bad. So go back to your main menu and then do File, Build Profiles, Add Open Scene. Cool. So you'll see your title scene is scene 1. All of our scripts are the reverse of that. So we're just gonna drag this bad boy, or drag you down. Okay, now it's fixed. So there we go. So actually, I'll just test it here in a second. Okay, very good. We have all those scripts set up. We will come back to those in a bit whenever we're ready. So, okay, open up your canvas again, and then we have this nice main menu object. It's very nice. But we need to also have settings buttons. So there's a way to do that without creating an entire new scene, and that's simply done by making a bunch of settings buttons ahead of time, hiding them, and then whenever you click settings, it unhides them and then hides these buttons. So it kind of creates the illusion that there's more scenes than there really are. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna go under Canvas, and then we are gonna copy the main menu scene. It's just easier that way. So Control C, Control V, and then we're gonna rename this to Settings Menu.
And back.
Hello. Okay, Settings Menu. So now we have two instances of these buttons at play at the same time. It's not really what we want. So we're just going to delete the play and quit buttons from the settings menu. And then we're going to rename the settings button to back. And then also change the text to back. So essentially what I'm doing is that in Unity you can hide entire hierarchy groups. So if I hide the main title, ooh, it's just the back button. But if I hide this one, it's just the regular buttons that we had before. So we're gonna make functionalities to switch between those two. So, cool. So how we're gonna do that is on our back button, we're gonna click on it. You'll see this on-click list. You'll just add one object to that. And then you will drag in the main menu object into that. Actually, you'll add two. You'll add two things. I lied. You'll add two things. So one will have main menu, and one will have the settings menu object associated with it. So what this is going to do is that this is going to control your active state. So you'll do game object set active for both of these. Game object set active. And so whenever you click the back button, you will want to set the main menu object to active and the settings menu to unactive. Deactive? I can't English. And then you will do the same thing with the settings button. You will just create two, and then drag the main menu object, drag the settings menu object, and then whenever you press the settings button, you will want to make the main menu inactive and the settings menu active. That's all you need to do for that. So if you'd like to test this, all you need to do is go to your settings menu object, uncheck this to hide it. So then now if we play it, take a second to load. Boom. Menus. So then we can stop that. Do keep in mind, we will continue to edit the settings buttons. The easiest way to do that is to show them again and then to just hide the main menu to avoid clutter, of course. Is everyone doing good pacing wise? Okay. I can't tell if I'm going too fast. I do need a little water break. Okay. So we got it. You know, I think it's about time that we add the functionality that switches between the scenes. I do believe I'm going a bit off script with this one, but I feel that it would make more sense to do it now. So open up your main menu object, and then press the play button, and then add to the on click. And then what you'll do is that you will drag in the main menu object, which has the script that we just wrote associated with it. And then main menu, you'll click this main menu tab. This represents the class that we just made, the code we just wrote. And if we call the method play game, it will invoke that function that we wrote in C#, and it will change the scene. So I will do the same thing with the quit button. Main menu quit game. Okay, now we can test it out. Do keep in mind settings that have to do with the application itself, like quitting the application, don't work in the voice crack. They don't work in the editor. You have to build and compile the project in order for that to work. But yeah, now we have this, and if you press escape, it goes back. So you can go between that as much as you want if you want to test later. So we got that working. This is almost looking like a main menu. It's crazy. The only thing that's missing is settings, because everyone loves options in this consumerist society. So the first thing that we're going to add is a volume slider, because you heard it just there. Audio's a little bit loud. Not everybody, might not like that. So to create the volume slider, we first need to have something that the volume slider can interact with. So you'll need to go to your sample scene.
Sorry.
You're good. So once you're in your sample scene, actually I don't think it matters, but actually it does matter. Ignore me. You'll want to do create, and then there should be a, what is it called? Audio mixer, that's what it's called. Audio mixer, there we go. So this little path here, and then it'll create a funky little audio mixer. Call it whatever you want. I'm just leaving it the default name since there's only going to be one of them. So click on that, and then you'll have your master volume here, and basically it's the master volume. But you do need to tell all of your audio sources, hey, you need to adhere to this master volume slider, so you can kind of change it later. So what you'll do is go to your audio manager that I've set up for you in the initial scene. And then there will be an object called background music. This is your actual audio object that is playing the noise. And you'll see this output here. And then you'll just click this, and then you'll click master. So now this audio object is now attached to the master volume channel. So, I'm doing my best.
Sorry.
It's
I'm not
okay.
laughing at you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I believe that's all the... Oh, there is one thing that we must do before we leave here. We need to click on your master volume slider. And then where is it? Okay, yes. So click on your master volume slider, and then you'll see expose volume of master to script. You'll press this. This basically makes the volume value a public variable that your scripts can change. And then it will create this little object here. You really want to rename that to something you're going to remember. So I'm going to call that master. This is what you will refer to in your scripts later. So we got that good. So I think we're done with Peter's scene. So we can move back over to the title screen. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. So now we're going to make an actual volume slider, something to really slide around. So open your canvas again, show your settings menu so you can actually change it. Hide your main menu, and then you'll just right click UI, and then the slider right there. Beam bam boom. And then I'm just gonna keep it named slider because I think that is cool. Move this wherever you want. You will notice it doesn't have text associated with it. You gotta add that yourself. So just right click on your slider object, UI, text mesh pro. Move that above your slider, and then I'm just gonna name it volume, smiley face. Wonderful. But yeah, now you have a cool little volume slider you can mess around with. You can also set, that's the color multiplier. I've been had. There's a slider within the slider that lets you slide the slider. It's very nice. So if you want your default volume to just kind of be in the middle of the road, you'd like your players to turn the volume up or down from where it is currently. You can just set that to 0.5. That's what I like to do. And something you'll need to do later, but we can just do it now since we're here. You'll need to set your minimum slider value to 0.0001 or something ridiculously small. The math that we're gonna do to change the volume is logarithmic. So if you give it a value 0, it's gonna freak out and return 0 instead of a negative decibel value, which is how Unity turns the volume down. So that prevents that from happening. It actually lets you turn your audio off. It's very nice. But now we need to add a script to make it do something. So all we need to do is click on our settings menu object, like we did with the main menu, and add a component. I'm going to call this volume settings. Volume settings. Probably spelled that right. Okay, that's going to pop up in your assets here once it thinks a little bit. Wonderful. Okay, this is what we're going to use to update that master volume slider in the volume mixer that we saw earlier. So we won't need, oh, great heavens, we won't need this, but we will need a few imports as per usual. Excuse me. So we'll need Unity Engine Audio. The audio. Using Unity Engine .ui. I believe this last import allows the slider to actually interact with the Unity systems. So in the class, we will need 2 serialized fields, or serialized fields, not serialized. I've done that many times whenever I've been coding in Unity, and it drives me nuts because I don't have a proper VS Code extension to autofill this stuff. Audio mixer. And then my mixer. You can call this whatever you want, my mixer. It's just an object of audio mixer. And then a second one. Just gonna copy this bad boy. Boop. And then private. Oh wait, I already typed private. Ignore that. Volume slider. Oh, it needs to be of type slider. Okay, slider. Wonderful. Okay, and then we're gonna make a new function called set music volume, because it's gonna set the music volume. That's what it does. Simple as. So we're gonna make a new float volume equals volume slider dot volume semicolon, and then we are going to make the actual math function. So we're going to do my mixer dot set float parentheses, and then we're going to put in the name of that volume mixer that we made earlier. So I'm just going to call that master, and then comma for the second parameter, and math f dot log 10 volume times 20. Bam. And I believe that's the entire script. It's very simple. So we can go back and see what errors I got. Of course I got errors. Slider does not contain a definition for volume. That's something. I've never once gotten this first try, by the way. So just bear with me. What's wrong here? Oh, okay. It's volume slider dot value. I see. Cool. Oh, there we go. I thought it was still broken. Okay, we're doing good, doing good. Everyone did good on the script. Cool. So now I believe. Oh, goodness. Okay, now we got to link the slider to the script. So click on your slider object, and then in the inspector, add to your little list. We've seen this before. Drag and drop your settings menu, and then volume settings, set music volume. Kinda awesome. Okay, I think that's all you need for that to function. So I'm gonna test this because testing is good. I'm gonna set up my main menu as it was, hit play, and now if I turn the slider down, it should get quieter. Settings. What? That's something. Okay. I've not seen that before. I've missed. Oh, I don't want to turn that off. I'm gonna have to do some debugging myself. What could that be referring to? Oh, yes. Okay. Glad it stopped me because I forgot to tell you guys something very important. So whenever we created that script, you remember we created two objects, the My Mixer object and the Volume Slider object. Well, you have to tell Unity which sliders you want associated with that. So for the My Mixer, just click on the little dot. It'll pull up the only mixer in your entire project. And then for the Volume Slider, do the same thing. It'll do it right there. So now those objects are explicitly linked to the script. Oh no. I think I just did that in play mode, so nothing saved. Why is that even a feature in Unity? Why would they do that? They are out to. They're
You're so eager, and they're trying to tempt you.
so true. They're out to get us. It's just how it is.
I meant you specifically in this instance.
Yeah.
It was designed for an anti-atom measure.
John Unity is out to get me. It's true. So I'm gonna set this very low. So
Oh my gosh.
it's quiet.
It's no longer loud.
And then if we go back, okay, and it resets to the default. I think the way that the script is set up is that you have to actually interact with this for the volume to update. Game design. There, it's louder. Is it working for you guys? Very good. I'm proud. Just wanted you to know that. Okay, so that's volume. That's the basics of volume settings done. I will say I'm not going to cover it here just for brevity, but there are ways to get your volume settings and settings in general to persist even whenever you close the game. It's a function called user prefs. You can look it up on YouTube, and that just stores integer or float or whatever values you want to your hard drive, so that whenever Unity opens the project next, it reads that and it's like, oh, this is what it was last time. It's very cool stuff. Very cool stuff.
Also, kind of required if you want to have like any amount of settings that are like configurable and not have to just be like per instance.
Yeah. Like mine. Okay, we are gonna do some display settings. So we're gonna add two things for the display settings. We're gonna add a drop down that will let you select from any valid combination of resolution that your current monitor supports, and we will have a cool checkbox that does full screen or windowed. Yeah, it's kind of freaking cool. I know, right? Thank you.
But
Freaking thank you. This guy gets it. So we're gonna go back here. And then we're gonna just re-enable our settings, hide our main menu, because we hate our main menu now. We are enemies. Don't know where my text went. That's not important, like at all, actually, I think. Then, so all we'll need to do is do UI, and then drop down Text Mesh Pro. So ideally, put this out of the way. Oh my gosh, I'm still in play mode. Embarrassing. There we go. So, yeah, UI, drop down, Text Mesh Pro, and just put this wherever you want, wherever it makes sense, wherever it's out of the way. I'm gonna put it right here. Actually, I'm gonna off-center it to bother, Wyatt, because I bet Wyatt would hate the placement of this, just down the middle of nowhere.
It's
Yeah.
more of a UX meeting than a UI, I'm just saying.
Fine.
Well, a little bit of it.
Well, a little bit.
It's not designing UI, I should say.
Once you get your actual drop down, you can change the color just like you could the buttons. Do whatever you want. It will come with these 3 options. These options are useless to us. So just press -3 times and they're gone. We will write a script that can actually auto-populate these at runtime so that Unity can scan your system basically to display all the valid resolutions that will work, which is pretty cool in my opinion. So, okay, now that we got that, we might as well toss the toggle button in here so we're not jumping around too much. So, again, UI, toggle. This is going to be a cute little checkbox. Don't do much. Just kind of here for the vibes. I am going to change the text on it, though, to make sense. Because otherwise, it will bother me. Full screen. That is not readable at all. Now I have to change the color and everything.
Oh my gosh.
But that seems like work. So
Did anything be readable?
I'm actually not going to change the text because I don't feel like it.
Just put a box around it.
I don't know how. Oh wait, oh here it is. Found out.
I think it's just the highlight color.
It's already white. Oh, that's the box itself. Don't even worry. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Not important. Actually, not important. So, go into your settings for, I don't know, the bazillionth time. And right click. Or actually, not right click, I'm sorry. Add component. And then I want to call these display settings. So, we're going to make a display settings script. Enter twice. It'll do its thing. Display settings. Excuse me. So this is going to be the longest script of the entire thing, so I will be going back and fixing this at least 4 times. We won't need the update, we will need the start, however, but y'all can see that on the Google Doc. I'm just going to get coding. So this requires a decent few imports, so Unity engine .ui. Just gonna yoink. Oh, it doesn't even use that. TMP Pro using system dot collections, and then using system dot collections dot generic. Very cool. So now we'll need to create a couple of public. Hello. There we go. Now we will need to create a couple of public objects. So we're going to do public TMP underscore dropdown. This is our dropdown object. And we're gonna. I'm just gonna name it resolution or res drop down, so we can refer to that later. Then we'll do public toggle full screen. Public toggle full screen. And then toggle. That's our toggle object. And then, so we'll need to make an array to store our resolutions in. Resolution. I believe this type matters. It is an array of type resolution. All. Okay. And then a Boolean is full screen. Oh my goodness, my wrist. Okay, wonderful. It is full screen. And then an integer selected resolution. I believe this is just going to serve as our index for the resolution object. So, oh, and then a list, because we love lists. List resolution. Also, call me out if I make a stupid typo, because I sure am not going to catch it. Equals new. Oh, okay. It just knew. Wonderful. Okay, now we can move on to the code part. Wait a minute, this is the code part. What am I talking about? We're gonna set is full screen to true. Just to, so whenever you open your project, it's always in full screen. And then all resolutions equals screen dot, no. Visual Studio really thinks it knows, you know, what I'm gonna type whenever it really doesn't. It is, it really is. So screen dot. I call it resolutions. I don't think I'm missing anything. Cool. Next line, we need to use that list that we just made. Or, no, we need to make a new list. I lied. Oh, it thinks I wanted to use that. Lists, and I'm not going to let it freaking do that. List of strings. Resolution. String. List equals new list string. That. Okay. Now we got this cool thing of stuff. It's very cool. Okay. So then we're going to make a for each loop. Following along, Wyatt. Sweet. For every resolution object, res, in all resolutions. So this is going to make a system call to your system, and then it's going to iterate through this for loop, you know, for every single resolution that it finds that Windows returns to Unity, and then it will put it straight into that drop-down that we made earlier. So in here we need to do resolution string list dot add, I believe. Do apologize, I keep losing my place. Yeah, dot add. Res dot, I think it's toString. Yeah, toString capitalized. Wonderful. Oh, gotta do that. One more line in the for loop. So selected solution list dot add res. Cool. This will run in O of n time if any of you are in algorithms. It's just a little 311 reference for the fans in the crowd. Okay. So after the for loop, we're gonna want res dropdown dot add options. Resolution string list. So I do believe that list we deleted, this line is what adds all that back. And then, now that we're done with this, we are now done with the start method. We're going to create a new method, public void change resolution. And then selected resolution equals res dropdown dot value. This grabs the current selected value from that dropdown object. And then screen dot, oh my goodness. Screen. There we go. Screen dot set resolution, selected resolution, list, selected resolution. So this is a bit of a long line. I can slow down to explain it if needed. Resolution dot width, and then second one we just copy this. Then okay, so this line grabs the selected resolution that we chose, finds the width, finds the height, sends that in a system call to Unity. Unity does the rest. That's why Unity is so freaking awesome. But I'm sure Godot also does that, and every other engine ever. Yeah. Oh, and then last one here. You need to add a comma, and then is full screen. That just passes in that Boolean, tells the system, is this full screen or is this not full screen? Very good stuff. And then one more function, or method, whatever you want to call it, is we're gonna name it change full screen, but I did not tell you to do that, actually. There we go. Beautiful. And then this one's a bit simpler. Is full screen equals full screen toggle dot is on. So this sets the full screen Boolean to the value of the toggle, I guess. So if the toggle's toggled, it's true. If the toggle's not toggled, it's false. And then, of course, we'll just copy and paste this line. Boink, bop. I think that's it. How many errors you bet this has? Oh, I'm missing semicolons. Yep. Okay, let's see. I am a master programmer. I'm so good. Okay. So now we need to associate objects with the scripts. A thing I forgot to do last time. If you, for the fans in the audience, if you remember. So we got res drop down, full screen toggle. It's pretty self-explanatory. Toggle goes in the toggle, and the drop down goes in the drop down. Very cool stuff. Okay, so now we need to add the functionality to the UI elements themselves. So go into drop down, on changed, click that. Drag in your settings menu object. Bam. Display settings and change resolution. So that should be set up. Same thing for toggle. Go here. Drag in your settings menu. Oh no, I unselected it. We're back. Drag and drop. Display settings. And then shit. Change full screen. There we go. Okay. Let's hope this works. Everyone keeping up? Haven't asked that in a while. Wonderful. Okay. Into matrix. Beep, 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 beep. Oh goodness, that's ugly. But you guys can fix that if you want to keep polishing this. So, again, I should mention this will only work actually if you build the project, because there is no application currently to change these resolution settings. But, oh, you get the point. These are all the resolutions and refresh rates that my system anyway can support. 1024 by 768. Woo! And I can do that. So to test this, I'm gonna build the project because technically now we are done. So you guys can build the project. I'm gonna teach you how to build a project. So all you gotta do is first set up the main menu properly, because I forgot to do that. Boom. It is done. One more very important thing. I mentioned this earlier, but it would probably be good to associate all this UI stuff with a portion of the screen. So I'm going to associate you to the top, the slider, drop down, top right, and then the toggle. I'm going to keep it right there with it. Cool. So now as the resolution changes, those should go in all sorts of wacky directions. Hopefully we can see that. Okay. Set up your settings, main menu thing again. So, okay, to build, for real this time, you do File, Build and Run. Save it somewhere. I always like to make a new folder in my Unity projects called Launch or Start or Build or Game. Launch. And you just chuck it in there. Save. And this will build. And it will open up on this title screen because we set it to scene index 0. Because we are good developers here at the GDC. And this will take a while. My laptop isn't very fast.
I probably just go over like reminders if you want, or I would wait too.
It's almost done.
Okay. To be fair, 2 scenes.
Yes. 2 scenes of greatness, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what FP means, but it's probably something important. Oh, yeah, we can do reminders. This is taking forever. Okay.
No, it's really
Are you sure?
yeah.
Are you sure?
The bars pretty much in almost 3.
Yeah, it does actually have 1 pixel exactly. Go. Yeah,
Basically.
done. Yeah, because that is a linear representation of time and work that needs to be done.
True.
Yes.
I also could have just lied, but like,
Yeah.
it's almost done.
Almost. Also, any questions about anything I've covered so far? Yes.
Will this be released on Steam later this year?
No. This will go to the depths of my system's recycle bin. Probably in a day or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll hold on to it.
Nostalgia.
It's gonna be lost media.
Yeah.
We lost
Well, like,
media,
okay, but like, if you
no.
upload the like VOD to the channel, okay.
It won't be. I can't upload the VOD then. No
That-
no meeting
that
recording.
Found media. You gotta make it like an ARG or something.
We gotta make this like
Excuse you.
I was trying to finish my sentences and I kept coughing.
Man, they finish building.
I was gonna say we should make this like an ARG or something.
Maybe.
Where like
No.
uh
It's Unity. That's what we're using. Wow. Wowie. Wow. Wow. Wow.
I love video games.
But I have a HD display, and we were working in a very tiny window, so you can see the buttons stayed still. They stayed put relative to the center of the screen, and the background scaled with resolution. So we're gonna just see if this that works.
Jump scare.
Settings, volume, less of a jump scare. Okay. Let's play this in window. It's a window. Oh my god. I think that's the same resolution.
Like very small increments, so you're not gonna. Yeah, there you go.
Boom. Different thing. And then I can make this full screen, but at a lower resolution.
Whoa.
So it's all crusty. It's crust. I'm gonna set this to the lowest resolution I can. Nice.
Retro.
This is like Half-Life 1 resolutions. That's retro Peter. So yeah, that's the whole meeting. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Appreciate it. And then good works.
Closes. Whoa.
What? Okay,
Alrighty.
take it away.
Just gonna do some quick reminders. Alright. So, just quick reminders. Next week will be the last meeting of the semester. We're gonna be doing elections, so I encourage everyone to swing by for that. Should still be pretty fun. We'll be doing the last game night as well of the semester, Friday night. I'll probably put the poll out like Monday. Also, if you did order a t-shirt, haven't gotten it yet, please let me know. I didn't have them with me this week. I will make sure to bring them next week. And if you are unable to make it for whatever reason and you have a shirt, please message me on Discord, and we can try to work together some sort of time to get them to you. So, yeah. Anywho, go forth, make games, be awesome. So.
Yeah.
Very cool.